What is up, everybody? The Editing Bard here, bringing you writing tips that make sense. Decided to do a pop-up editing sprint this afternoon because I am in the process of trying to bust out pretty much all of the words that I possibly can, because I am actually going to be submitting my manuscript on Monday. So my manuscript is going to be in the hands of a publisher on Monday. And that, my friends, is an absolutely terrifying thought. But I am incredibly excited about it. For one, just for one, incredibly excited about it. Give you guys a little bit of background before we kind of dive into everything. So I've been working on this book since January of 2019. So I sat down and I pantsed 50,000 words in the month of January, and then took a couple of months, kind of finished things off, and then I kind of started slowly building the second draft. I had a developmental editor friend of mine go through it, and they went through, and they did a phenomenal job, and started working on that. Started working at New Degree Press. You guys have seen the interview with Shanda. And now I'm actually submitting my manuscript to New Degree Press on Monday. Not only that, but my two clients who I've been doing the mentorship with, they're also going to be submitting their stuff on Monday. So it's an absolutely terrifying time for everybody. I'm super stoked about it. And I now need to get pretty much all of the words that I possibly can done. I don't have to have it finished. I just need to get as many of the words done as possible. And then I got to build an outline and be like, all right, here's how it goes. Here's how it's going to end. Here's my plans for everything. And then if it's accepted, we begin the process of going through and actually publishing the book, working on all of the different things. I mean, it feels a little surreal. For one, feels a little surreal for one to think that after 14 years of building this world and now having kind of connected all of the pieces to the book, that it's actually going to be in the hands of a publisher, regardless of whether they accepted it or not. Just the fact that it's in their hands is just beyond exciting. So with all of that being said, I now need to get my butt in gear and actually get it going. So for those of you who are joining me in this, we're going to be doing writing or editing sprints, and we're probably going to be doing anywhere between 20 and 30-minute sprints. So like as you come in, I'll probably have a little ticker going that says like, hey, we're in the middle of an editing sprint. Feel free to join in, ask questions in the chat. I'm going to be here for several hours, basically until dinner time, because I haven't used up all my StreamYard. Thankfully, I keep my feathers numbered for just such an occasion. So, and then I am going to be talking about a merch giveaway a little bit later, not too much later, but I'm super excited about it. You guys have helped support my channel, and I am now sitting at 250 subscribers for the Editing Bard. Why you guys enjoy my flavor of madness, I have no idea, but I am so very, very thankful for it. All right, so let's see here. I'll probably do a shorter sprint just on the front end in case anybody else joins in. So yeah, we'll do a short one. Just a short one. First, I got to pull up the timer because I did forget to do that before I actually went live. Downsides of not planning ahead and doing a pop-up stream instead of something that is like super planned. All right. Online timers for kids. I want online timers for kids. There's no fun in that. Should we do a bomb? Yeah, we'll just do a regular one. All right, I'm gonna get this shared here and countdown timer. All right, so I will probably have my mute on the mic. So we will get this going, and if you guys, we'll start off with 15 minutes. I'll be monitoring the chat, so hop on when you guys can. Look forward to seeing you. And set. Go. And I am pretty sure that my mic was on mute that entire time. Well, nuts. So if you have stuck around, I will make sure to kind of breeze over those announcements again because apparently the mute was on. That is incredibly awkward. So yeah, you guys can look forward to hearing me do a quick recap of everything after this editing sprint because mic was on mute. All right. So first editing sprint is completed. Considering that I added a grand total of, let's see, 45 words. Yeah. Hey, Elizabeth. Welcome to the chat, to the live stream of editing sprints. I think this is my third one, roughly, somewhere along there. And I realized that for all those who started at the very beginning, my mic was muted for a good 6 minutes prior to actually starting the writing sprint. So any of you who joined during that time probably didn't hear a single word that I said. And that's incredibly embarrassing. My wife is laughing at me. But to give you guys a quick rundown of what we are doing editing sprints. Why are we doing editing sprints? Because I am trying to bust out as many words as I possibly can to get as much of my story of this second draft done before Monday, because Monday I am sending my manuscript in to the publisher, which I am so unbelievably excited about. It's also terrifying. I'm pretty sure that I had probably a minor heart attack or anxiety attack when I actually heard from the publisher and be like, yeah, just send it over to us on Monday with a detailed outline of everything else that has to happen, and we'll start looking it over. And I was just like, still my beating heart. So I'm super excited. I am sitting at, what is it now? 49,192 words of the second draft. I have approximately 15,000 or so. Yeah, Monday. It is going to be on Monday. So I am super excited about it. Two of my clients are submitting as well, and which I'm super excited for them. But yeah, so that is kind of what we are doing here. And I'm basically here for moral support. I am here to have you dote your love and devotion upon me, so that way I can fuel myself to finish just as much as I can. I'm just going to be kind of busting as much out as possible. And I'm super curious as to what you guys are working on as well. So please feel free to comment over in the chat section on what your projects are. And, doesn't matter what it is, just whatever project you happen to be working on, comment over in the chat. Also, I am celebrating 250 subscribers to my YouTube channel. And as a big thank you to you wonderful people, I am doing a Bard merch giveaway. So the giveaway, I'll go into details. Well, I mean, I guess now is as good a time as any, considering that my mic is now on this time. So I have Bard merch. You can find the store link down in the show notes. And that is also where the giveaway link is. So the giveaway link, let me trying to find the stop share button so I can share with you the screen for the giveaway. Okay, I am not entirely sure what just happened. It looks like the stream is still going. If you guys can still see me, please let me know. Because my entire internet, all the interwebs just crashed. So I'm hoping something is still there. I'm hoping you guys can still see me. Comment over in the chat if you guys can still see me and if the chat or if everything is still going. Okay, awesome, fantastic. Don't know what happened, but tried to share the screen and everything died. So that was terrifying. Okay, so I'm gonna try again. I've hit the share screen. I'm clicking, share. Okay, there we go. It didn't freak out this time. That was utterly terrifying. Okay, so my wife is still laughing at me. So Bard merch, you are entering a giveaway to win a shirt, t-shirt, or a mug of your choice. So you send it in, you fill it out. It's just your email. It's under me, so it's saying that, you know, I can continue as Steven. This is saying, you know, I consent to getting the sale and promotional marketing emails. It's a required thing. I don't choose to opt into that. That's just what it says, just to let you guys know. And then when you actually go in, so this is actually going to run from, I technically started it early, but it's going to run through June 5th. And then I'm going to do another live stream doing the announcement for the winner on June 6th. I haven't set up the stream for it yet, but that is what is going to happen. So if you guys have any interest in winning some Bard merch, and it is, again, a t-shirt. I have quite a few t-shirts now. So you can always go to the store link, check out the shirts that I have, because this is not all of them. These were just some of my favorites. There's Slayer of Innocent Characters. There's Writer Noun, and so it gives the definition of what a writer is. Do you even world build, bro? 10 things you didn't know when they didn't tell you before marrying an author. Drink Like a Bard, Angsty Tears of My Readers, and Girl, Do You Even World Build? So I have quite a few, and there's a lot more in the store. So if you have any interest in that, go check that out. And then if you want to go and subscribe to the giveaway, and then it gives you some additional options for entering the giveaway and getting more raffles, more entries. So, and I made it very easy, very straightforward. So if you guys have any interest in that, go check that out. It's my way of saying thank you. So yes, because I love you guys. All right, I'm going to try and hopefully stop it so that way it doesn't freak out again. Okay, so we're good so far. We've only had one internet malfunction. Lot less terrifying. Let's see. Then what else? What else was there? I think that was the main one. So if you guys have any questions about that, make sure to comment over in the chat about that. And I'm thinking 20-minute editing sprint. What are you guys' thoughts? Feedback. Talk to me. Give me your opinions, your life lessons, all of it. I need you guys' interaction. I'm going to be here for another like 3 hours. So I need you guys. I need you. You're with me in this. We're in this together. I'm pretty sure that's a High School Musical song, if I remember correctly. Yeah, pretty sure. All right, you guys aren't saying anything, so I'm going to just choose. I've got nothing. Why don't you have anything? Oh, man. Okay. So let's do 20 minutes for a writing or editing sprint here. Boop. And then, all right, I got that set. I'm going to get this shared, hopefully. Okay, so far so good. Okay, we've shared it. All right, what are you guys working on? Are you guys working on anything? Are you guys working on a book, blog post, website, something for someone else? What are you guys up to? I'm craving social interaction. I've been in quarantine. I've lived in this box for months. You guys have to have something interesting to say. Suppose I probably should have put the boop giveaway link. All right, I'm going to go ahead and start the next sprint. Again, I'll be kind of keeping an eye on chat on this side and answering any. I'll put it up on the screen and stuff after the sprint's done. All right, we are going to get this going here. That's okay. Well, that's exactly why I don't have anything. I've been stuck in this house since March. Okay, that's fair. I'll give you that one. I'll give you that one. Yeah. One of the other things, real quick, before we jump into this, and I'll kind of touch on it. I'll leave you guys on a bit of a cliffhanger before the editing sprint. But I have been looking into. Wait for it. Voiceovers. Doing voiceovers and doing book narration. So I'm going to kind of leave you guys on that, let you noodle on that, and then we're going to start this. And then when we come back, I'll talk a little bit more about that. All right, here we go. Oh, yeah. All right. Hello, Cynthia. Welcome to the stream. We just finished up the second editing sprint. What did everybody do? What did everybody get? Anybody get anything? I got let's see. How much is this? So I got 275 words done in that sprint. How about everybody else? Anybody? Any takers? And right now I'm technically writing all new content. So where I'm at in my story, I essentially had to cut out like 3 whole chapters because I had to move my plot line up, which was great because it made things a lot better and a little bit easier. It also sucked because in the sense that because I had rearranged everything geographically in the book, the one place that they were supposed to go is now too far away from where they need to go. So that was a bit of a bummer. So I had to speed it up and make it happen a lot faster and not have it feel like a side quest, because it kind of felt like a side quest in the first draft. And that was one of the comments my DE developmental editor had made, which was great because it was incredibly helpful and really beneficial. And it actually gave me a really awesome opportunity to kind of showcase the main female character a little bit more and kind of dive in as she. So to kind of give you guys some background, Trinia, who's the main female character, is a chieftain's daughter, and her father kept her from learning a lot of things because he's kind of a psychopath, and he didn't want her to become too powerful. And so there are a lot of skill sets that she's lacking, and this was a kind of a fun way to showcase some of what she's learned over the course of the book up until this point, and also kind of show her just kind of getting lucky with some of it. She's kind of MacGyvering her way through this set of circumstances, and it was actually really fun to write. I thought it made it a lot more interesting, made it a lot more compelling, and at least I think so. And now the part where I'm at, I'm kind of having to reframe the chapter a bit more. So I'm curious to see how that's going to end up and turn out. Let's see what you guys said. Looking through a bit of my book. Cool. What's your book about, Alley Cat? Are you doing like YA, fantasy, general fiction? What do you got going on? Dal, I'm not editing right now. I'm drafting a short story. Very nice. And then Cynthia didn't participate. I came in the middle. My 20 minutes this morning was 1,485 words. Nice. That is fantastic. Yeah, that is awesome. That is usually what I get total after about 2 hours. And so the other night, Wednesday night, in about 2.5 hours, I got almost 3,000 words done. And that was the previous chapter that I had finished before the chapter that I'm working on today, and just trying to get as much done as possible. Yeah, that was quite. I was so tired because it was from 7 p.m. till about 10, little after 10, somewhere around there. That was brutal. That was banging my face on the keyboard trying to get every last word out because I was like, I have to finish this chapter. It has to happen. Teen fiction YA. Awesome. Sounds good. Playing a video game while you're doing the chat. That is boss level. That is awesome. That's nice. Usually that's like when I'm having breakfast with my kiddos is right around, it was like that 7 to 8. And then from 8 onwards, I'm technically in business mode. So I'm doing editing, emails, stuff for clients, all that kind of stuff, making Bard merch, doing giveaways, panicking about finishing my book. What else? That sums most of it up. That's most of what happens over the course of my 8 to 5 day in and day out. Cynthia, what are you currently writing? Super curious. And then Dal, I'm trying to remember, was your short story, that was a thriller one, right? That's not the sci-fi one. That one's different, if I remember correctly. Psychic mystery. Interesting. I have not heard of that before. Is that because I know that there's like a bazillion subgenres. Is that a subgenre of fantasy, like the bigger picture of not fantasy, of mystery? Is that kind of like one of those like little offshoots, kind of like sci fantasy is an offshoot of fantasy? It's a cozy aspect of paranormal suspense. Oh, okay. So cozy mystery with some paranormal mixed in there. Okay, cool. That makes sense. And then sci-fi novels, thriller short. It's not that I didn't like it. Oh, and this is a new short. Okay, cool. It's called Lost, about a girl that's in junior in high school that is struggling with life in many types of abuse and mental illnesses. The only friend she has is her 3 best friends, and is bullied. Oh, that's weird. Message disappeared in chat, but it's still showing up over here. So I'm not sure what happened there. But okay, 3 best friends and is bullied. I wonder if it's because it's mentioned abuse, mental illness. I don't know. That's weird. I hadn't seen that happen before. Anyway, I'm still interested. Oh, I had to fix it. Okay. All right. Gosh darn it. I keep forgetting. I put stuff on my neck. My shoulders were super tense. And I keep putting stuff on my neck to try and help it loosen up, and then it gets on my hands when I try and do that. So that's annoying. Okay. Let's see. What should we do? I wish I had a faster way. Oh, that's right. I left you guys on a cliffhanger for the voiceover stuff. So it's been something that I've thought a lot about in the past. And so my wife and I were talking like a week or so ago, and she was like, you should really look into doing voiceovers or, and doing stuff for audiobooks. So kind of started doing some research on that and kind of finding out what might be interesting, the cost and all of that kind of stuff that goes with it. And so I've been looking more into that. I've actually had the opportunity to get some a vocal voiceover course, and so I'm going to be going through that over the next few weeks as well. I'm looking at building a booth to where I can do the voiceovers, and I actually rearranged. You guys probably can't tell, but I'm no longer in the center of the room, which I was technically before. Because before you guys couldn't see this on the sides because it's this ugly sand-ish color, and I got my 6-foot plastic table in front of the desk that I'm sitting in front of right now until my little stand comes. And then yeah, so I did a ton of rearranging. So the booth is actually going to be over on that side of the room. Little 4 by 5 by 7 ish, 7 and some change maybe, depending on how we can fit it. But yeah, so looking at potentially doing that. Going to be practicing, trying out some different things. So I'm excited to kind of get into this new stage, trying to figure out business wise, like how it's going to work. It's going to basically be a sister business to the Editing Bard, which is my editing business. So it'll be connected by association and by moi. But other than that, it will be like its own separate thing. It won't be a part of it. But I want to help people voice their books. So I think that'll be a lot of fun. Okay. Let's see. So Dal said, just a short about a girl who gets a link to a very long song, and when she listens, some extraordinary things happen. Sweet. That sounds cool. Magical realism. That sounds awesome. I like that. And then Ali, a book about Lost, called Lost. She has only 3 friends, which are also her best friends that help her. That's awesome. Teen fiction YA. Okay, cool. I love that. That's sweet. So fun seeing what everybody else is working on. I primarily work on fantasy. Most of what I've edited has actually kind of fallen into through the publisher when I'm that I'm freelancing through. The majority of them were nonfiction. Just trying to find words. And then the students that I have this time are fiction, and one is so there's a high fantasy, 2 other fantasies, a sci fantasy kind of, probably a little bit more along the lines of sci-fi or science fiction. Yeah, and so that's been fun. And then like one is like Middle Eastern inspired fantasy, which is really cool. I've been loving reading that. And then almost everything else through clients has been fiction. One of my mentor students is actually going to be submitting a nonfiction, and the other one's going to be submitting fiction. So super excited for them about that. Okay, first question about the voiceover biz. Where did you study for it? I'm curious in case you know a former musician here. I didn't. I haven't done anything for it. I haven't done any training or study on it. I've been exploring it. It's something that I've always wanted to do. I've been told I have a voice for it. I don't know. The sound of my own voice annoys me, so I'm not a very good judge of it. But I've got a course that I'm going to be going through that was offered to me by somebody through Teachable. And so I'm going to be doing his course and going through that, learning some of the ins and outs of the business and kind of how to do it better and start getting gigs that can potentially turn into a really profitable business. Aside from just the editing, I actually kind of want them to complement each other. So that way the people who work with me know that, like, hey, by the way, when you're done with your book and you get it published or it's finished, it's completed, like, I would love to help you turn your book into an audiobook. So kind of looking into that. Ali says basically about how she goes through everything and how her friends are trying to help her through her life, trying to put mental illnesses and abuse to light to let people know that they aren't ignored. That's a great message. Seriously, like we need more of that kind of stuff because mental illness and abuse is such a prevalent thing in today's society, and people are ostracized for it, and that's not right. And so I think that's awesome that you're doing that. Yeah, I get what you're saying. Yep, in the same boat, Dell. Yeah, I agree, Cynthia. I think a lot of people are just kind of like, my voice sounds dumb. And even if it's not the case, but yeah, I bet you could do voiceovers, Dal. You literally have a white, you know different languages. I have no doubt that you could probably do that. Seriously. Oh, thank you so much, Cynthia. I appreciate that. Because I'm horrible at asking. I really am. I am absolutely horrible at asking. And there's always hope that there isn't something wrong with them. Exactly. So stuff that should be put on side and ignored, that people can get through it. That's a great message. Seriously. Like that is absolutely amazing. Keep going. Keep writing that. That's a book that needs to be published and needs to get out there. Most definitely. For those of you who are still on and haven't heard, hey Lauren, was it? But I don't know what it's for. I'm just popping before we're walking into closing. Lauren, it's for Bard merch, so you can get either a shirt of your choice or one of the mugs that I have. So one is Angsty Tears of My Readers, and then there is Drink Like a Bard. So either of those. Yeah, I usually, because I'm so random at times, I usually do pop-ups. And so a lot of it usually comes in, no one else is on or available, and people kind of trickle in. That's the one downside, is a lot of times I kind of do it spur of the moment because I have the time available. So as someone who's had depression and survived it, I can relate. I figured it was a good story to write about. I wrote this in a terrible state of my life too, so it's been one of those things that helped me. That's awesome. I could definitely relate to the depression. I actually talked about that in my testimony stream, where I went into a lot of the stuff that I went into in the abuse and depression that I had. So I think that is such an amazing story. And most definitely you need to get that published. Yeah, most definitely. Again, as a reminder to those of you who have joined or just kind of joining, I'm going to kind of say it a couple of times over the course of the stream because it's going for like 3-4 hours. Oh man, my coffee has worn off this afternoon. Doing a giveaway for 250 for hitting the 250 subscribers for my YouTube channel. So if you guys want free Bard merch of your choice, shirt, mug, whatever, go down and sign up for the giveaway. And then it's got some extra things that you can do to earn extra not points, but extra entries. You can earn extra entries. That's what I was looking for. So yeah, definitely go and do that. If you like funny writing shirts, this is not one of my shirts. I'm still trying to get one of my shirts. But I have a lot of different ones on there that are fun. And so I highly recommend it. All right, guys, we're going to start up another editing sprint here. And let's see. I'm trying to get to the stupid. There it is. Okay. We are going to do 20 minutes. for another sprint. So whatever you guys are working on and doing, that is awesome. All right. Get rid of all these stupid ads. Gosh, that's annoying. Okay. Now that we've cleaned it up a little bit. Okay. 20 minutes on the clock. Ready, set, go. All right. Another 20 minutes complete. All right. Let's see. Yep. Mike is unmuted again, just because I'm now going to be paranoid about that because I forgot. I can't believe I forgot for the first like 6 minutes of the stream. I'm going to have to leave a comment on there and be like, "Don't mind my derpy self. I corrected that issue later." Okay. What did everybody do? How did everybody do? What did you guys get done? I'm going to count it up here for me. I'm trying to remember where I left off. Well, that's a bit of a pickle. So somewhere around there. Okay. Let's see. I managed to get another 350 some odd words. It says 372, but I think I might be double counting at least part of that. So 372 done for the new stuff. Well, it's being revised fairly heavily. Let's see. What did you guys were talking about? Hopefully this other gets published, that I can help people too and connect with them through books like I have with the books I've read. That's a great goal. Seriously, that's awesome. How far along are you in that, Alley Cat? Like in terms of like drafts, is it like your first draft, second draft? What are we looking at there? I have not seen a lot of your stuff yet, Dal, and so I think it's really cool that you address so much of that. I haven't seen a lot of your channel yet. I need to go do that. Yeah, seriously, like character reactions are so important to showcase, and I think that's actually something that a lot of authors miss more often than not, is like really good character interactions. Because I mean, really, that is so important. That's why I keep reading a book, is that if there's really good character interactions. Good Lord, Cynthia, that is insane. That was just in the 20 minutes. My goodness. Well, playing a video game would that probably doesn't help the word count. No. Oops. Awesome. Cynthia, what draft are you on for your book right now? Yeah, a good day, I would say so. In the editing stage, had to rewrite the story a few times. Want to say this is 4 or 5 times, maybe a bit more. Hey, I definitely know about losing track. I've done that myself on more than one occasion. Yeah, most definitely. Yeah, I would say so. Final draft, that's exciting. So do you have any plans to like how you plan on publishing, Cynthia, and Allie too? You guys can both feel free to chime in. Are you guys looking at like self-publishing, traditional publishing? What are you guys looking to do there? Yay, Keelan. It's Keelan. I heard it the other day. I kept saying Kalen, but it's Keelan. Sprints to finish a video. Hey, that counts. That still works. It's editing. Doesn't matter. I don't specify what editing it is, just that it's editing. Let's see, Cynthia. I have 2 fiction with Amazon, and this one will also be exclusive on Amazon. Okay, so you're KDP, I'm assuming it's KDP. Nice, very nice. What is your book about, Keelan? I don't remember hearing. I can't recall. I don't remember anything about it. Oh, awesome. Yeah, please let me know how you like that. That is, I keep telling myself I'm going to be doing the other ones soon, and I really do. Keelan, to kind of fill you in on kind of what's going on. So I have a Bard merch giveaway. The link is down in the subscription, not the subscription, the description. And I'm giving away either a t-shirt or a mug of your choice if you win. And so you can follow the link down below to enter to win that. And then I was letting everybody else know that I, as of Monday, will be submitting my manuscript, my second draft of my novel, The City of Snow and Stars, to the publisher, and it'll go through the acquisitions editor, and they'll determine whether it's ready to go to publishing or whether I need another round of developmental editing, which, I mean, I wouldn't be butthurt about if that was the case. A lot of the little details I think are going to come back to bite me in the backside. And then in addition to, let's see, merch giveaway, book submission, I'm also looking at getting into doing voiceovers and doing like audiobook stuff. So still kind of in the very, very beginning stages. I'm actually going to try and actually create a business plan for this one because I didn't do that with the editing Bard. And that definitely created some challenges over the last year. And I have actually been in business for over a year now as the editing Bard, which is exciting. And coming up on a year in August, I think, from starting my YouTube channel. Wow, that's coming up fast. I'll have to think of something special to do that for that too. KDP, awesome. Post-apocalyptic epic fantasy with a sci-fi twist. Really feels like an epic fantasy. That sounds awesome. Keep me up to date on that for sure. Keelan, are you planning on doing like self-publishing, or are you thinking of doing again with the words and forming them, self-publishing or traditional publishing? Which one are you going for? Yeah, I'm super stoked about it. I literally having like minor panic attacks, but like it would be so exciting if it does, because guys, like if my book is accepted, here's essentially like what the timeline looks like. If everything happens the way that I'm really, really hoping that it does. So I submit my book, the acquisitions editor goes over it, green lights it. And then once it's greenlit, I get, I pay a deposit, which it'll be like $500, and I've been saving up for this very specific thing. That gets me into the publishing program that they have, and they help me build a fundraising Indiegogo campaign with different tiers and different perks. And I watched my students go through this process, and I'm super excited for it. So it goes into the fundraising, and I enter into revisions with a marketing editor, my copy editor, And then that runs for a few months. We do cover design. I'm going to have a beta read group, and those will be the people who pre-purchase the book. And it'll be like signed copies, perks. I'm keeping my fingers crossed for a full color map, because I have been making one with Wonderdraft. I'm hoping that will be one of the perks that I can offer, is like a full color map of the entire world that I've created. And then that beta group will vote on a set of different covers and help me choose which ones are going to be like, which one kind of ends up being the one. And then my book is essentially going to hit the market in sometime in like January or February of 2021. If it all goes according to plan, that's the timeline on it. And I think that it would be so much fun. Planning on doing traditional publishing. It would be easier for me personally, especially since I've never published before. Yeah, I feel that. So the publisher that I'm going through, New Degree Press, they're a hybrid publisher. And so they kind of help you learn how to publish books, but you publish it through them. So it's, and I get to keep 100% of the royalties off of it, which is awesome because they cover all of their costs with the fundraising. So every sale is like, I own all of it. Well, except for whatever fees Amazon would take out normally. So I'm not giving 50% to New Degree and then another 30% to Amazon, depending on like what I did there. I actually get to keep all of that, and then I just pay for the whatever royalty comes out of. So I was happy with that. I'm excited for that. So I'm looking to do that. Yeah. Cynthia, yes. It is a really cool program. I've had several students. I had 5 or 6 students out of the 11 that I had last year complete their books. And actually, if you guys go to my website, I've built a portfolio page now. And I have all of the books that I've worked on available on there, because I want to support those authors. They're phenomenal authors. They did a really great job. So if you want to see like all of them, then you can check that out. But yeah, they went through the process. 2 of them that I know of fundraised enough to be able to do audiobook. And so that's the cool part, is with the fundraising, like you get like different tiers. And so they hit the second tier for fundraising. And then, so now they're able to produce their own audiobook, which that is my baseline minimum. That is what I want to do with my book. I don't even care if I don't get hardcover. If I do, that's great. But if I can seriously get my book turned into an audiobook, and I can be the one to do the audio production of it, oh my gosh, I would die happy. It would be awesome. It is not Amazon. It's a company. So New Degree Press is the name of the company. So they have a deposit that you pay that you can earn back, or essentially get refunded as soon as like you hit that second tier for fundraising, because then they've covered all their cost. Because I mean, you're getting cover designers from some of them are from the big 5 publishing companies, other editors. They're teaching you how to fundraise and do your own campaigns. I mean, it's very extensive what they do. And they have like a 96% success rate with their authors with their fundraising. And really it boils down to it, like you actually have to be fundraising. You have to be active at doing it. Go figure. But yeah, if you want to know a little bit more, I actually did a video. It's in my, it's part of my live streams, my interviews. It's with interview with the head developmental editor of NDP, Shanda. I did an interview with her, and she kind of goes into it a little bit more. But because I've freelanced with them and I've watched my students go through it and have their books published, and I bought 2 of their books, and they're fantastic. The soft cover is magnifique. Really, really good. Somebody had a question. Oh, that was your question. Okay. Yeah, so I would highly recommend checking them out. Just even shooting them an email and asking, like, hey, this is where I'm at, and see what happens. I mean, if it's accepted, you pay the deposit, and then they help you publish. They kind of teach you how to do the business side of it a little bit when it comes to based on what I know. And I'm working on limited information because I only cyber stalked my students while they were going through that. But they like show you how to like get it set up on Ingram Spark, how to set up KDP, how to set up an author profile on Amazon, like all that. So they're a great bunch of people. Like seriously, like they're awesome. All their DEs are fantastic, and I'm looking forward to meeting the copy editors if I'm accepted. Okay, let's do and gear up for another sprint here. Agua la vida. Do you get your money back if the campaign is unsuccessful? The deposit. So what they do is they actually will extend the campaign. So they'll work with you on that, and they'll extend the campaign out. So instead of being published like, so for example, if I failed to meet the fundraising requirement, the bare minimum, right? So I have to raise, so math. The different tiers, from what I understand, is at 4,000 fundraised. You get paperback and softcover. At 6,000 raised, you get audiobook, softcover, and ebook. And at that point, they've covered all of their costs. And so the refund, the deposit is returned from what I understand. And then at 8,000, you get hardback, and then you get hardback and everything else. So if the campaign is not projected to hit one of those, then you kind of you can go through it. It kind of depends on your goals. So if you're like, I don't really care about audiobook, I just want the 4,000, then you pay your deposit. There is a discount for students who are actively enrolled in school. I don't know what the discount is. You'd have to talk to them. For me, as a non-school person, it's 500, which I'm like, for all this, for literally everything that I'm getting, I can part with $500. The fact that I'm going to be having months of copy editing, revision, formatting, a freaking cover designer who's going to make a bomb diggity cover. Let me grab the 2 books here and I'll show you. Okay. So this cover was actually done by Natalie's aunt, but it is really, really nice. It's that one of those like really super soft covers. It's got dust on it right now. and all the formatting and stuff is really nice. I mean, it is really, really high quality stuff. This is the other one, and I voted for I voted for this one because I was a part of the beta group because I paid for it. And I voted for this cover because I loved the color, and just it's a little happy cuppy. So yeah, and several of my students only had enough for ebook and paperback, so they don't get their deposit back, but they've built a successful campaign. And with the Indiegogo campaigns, you have different price points that range from like $15 to like 1,000, and that's like for the super fan who I mean, if one of you guys wants to drop $1,000, like I won't argue with you. But like the one that the vast majority of people actually buy is the one that's like at the $40-ish price point, because you get a lot of perks with it, and you get a signed copy. Both of those are signed. And you get a part of the beta reading group. You get early access to the book. You get to vote on the cover. Trying to think of something else. And there's some other different things. I know that my students did different things for their groups. But yeah, I hope that answers your question, Keelan. And so I recommend that people at least check it out as an option. It's going to cost you less than it would to self-publish, and you're going to get to keep the royalty for your book. You still own 100% of the book, and so you're not losing 75% or more of the rights and kind of ownership of your book, which is kind of the case in some traditional publishing. Usually you're only going to get maybe 10 to 12%, 15% royalty from a traditional publisher is kind of on the high end, from what I understand and from what I've heard from other authors. So those are kind of the options. I was like, I would much rather do that. Pay $500, get some high quality editors. And again, I've watched them because I've freelanced with them. So that's been great to have insider information on this publisher. So anyway, I hope that answered those questions. I get excited about talking about them because I really want to publish with them. All right, let's do another editing sprint here and get this potty started. All right, let's see here. Going to pull it up. Awesome. All right. Oh, I don't know about you guys, but every now and then, like my neck just gets so tight and I just got to pop it. All right. Starting sprint in 3, 2, 1, go. All right. Next sprint completed. All right. What did you guys get done? Let's fill in here. Trying to, let's see. I think I went back here. Shoot, I really should remember and keep better track of where I left off with things, because I tend to. I'm sure Cynthia's finished a book by now, like an entire book. All right, that's not accurate here. Let's see. Okay, that's probably not too far off. So I've gotten, and some of this was edited stuff that I'm adding in, or from stuff from the first draft that I'm fitting into here and just kind of reworking. So I got a total of 507 words. Ha! I knew it. Now she's just messing with me. Now she's putting in the smaller numbers and just creating math problems for me to stumble over. Not cool, Cynthia. Not cool. So yeah, what, a little over 1,100 words or so. How many, like, how long are your chapters? How long are the chapters that you guys are writing typically? For me, my chapters are ending up anywhere between 2,500 and 3,500 words. 3,500 words is kind of like my maximum that I want to go for any given chapter, mainly because at 3,500 words, you're edging fairly close to 20-25 minutes of read time for your average reader. And I try and keep my chapters within the 10 to 15 minute range whenever possible. I used to work in fast food, and so I have this mentality of like, okay, I want to create a bingeable book. And that means that I want somebody to be able to get through the majority of my chapters in 10 to 15 minutes or so, because that keeps them reading. And you guys have heard me say it before, like, I want someone to literally be to the point where they can't put it down and they pass out from exhaustion because of the pacing. And they're like, I have to find out what happens next. Like, that's what I try and kind of gear my books towards. Cynthia's trolling me. Oh, okay. That makes sense. I just about grabbed a ding dong. I might do that on the next sprint. might have a snack. Let's see. I have 3 scenes in each chapter this evening. I have done 1 in probably half a chapter. Nice. So for the scenes, is that like different character POVs? So like each POV is a scene, or is it just kind of, different places as you kind of move through the chapter kind of thing? Curious. Very curious. See, feed the editing beast. Yes. Always must feed the beast. And actually, I had just finished creating and posting a new shirt that says, I write for the thrill, I live for the edits, I exist for the story, I am author. And I want that shirt. This is the problem, is that I create all these shirts that I would wear. The problem is that I can't buy all of them at once. It hurts my heart a little bit. It hurts my heart. But I really want that shirt. I came up with that one after leaving a comment on somebody's Twitter post, where it was just, I write for the thrill, I live for the edits. I was like, ooh, shirt idea, boom. But I needed a third option. it was, I die for the story, but I was like, yeah, it's a little bit extreme because I actually need to live long enough to finish the story. And then I was like, okay, I exist for the story. I was like, but it's still not finished. And then I wrapped it up with the I am author thing. And I was like, that's it. It's fantastic. All right. Different places. This chapter took place in the backyard, a bedroom, packing for the weekend, and moving down the highway. Okay, cool. So just kind of progressively moving time forward through each of those scenes, or I'm assuming kind of moving forward through those scenes. That's cool. Usually so like when I'm writing, I'm trying to limit a lot of the scene breaks. I didn't do that so much in the first draft. And in large part, that was just so that way I could kind of get through the story and kind of get those major things and elements in it. And in this time, I've tried to stick with the POVs a little bit more, try and get a little bit more grounded in their shoes. Because I switched styles. I was trying to go third person omniscient, and it just kind of came across as head hopping. So that didn't work. So I went with third person limited. Third person limited, but it's multi POV. So a lot of the characters will get their own chapters. Two main characters with the majority of the POVs, and then 4 secondary characters that are getting chapters strategically placed when needed. But most of it I try and stick with just the one. Fast pace. See, I like fast pace. So for this one, over on this shelf is a lot of my Ted Dekker books, and he writes Christian psychological thrillers that are really, really intense. Several of them are terrifying, and so good. And so I like that kind of pacing where like I burn through his books every time. Like I cannot put them down. That's the same kind of feel that I'm wanting in this book, especially because the main character Trini is on the run trying to escape from a banshee queen, her brood, her psychopath dad. Yeah, she's trying to get away from all of them. First person, it is limiting. Yeah. See, I talk to so many authors, whether it's through YouTube or through Facebook or Twitter, and they're like, oh yeah, I love first person, or I love third person omniscient. And there's pros and cons for everything. With first person, if you're only having one POV, you have to have a really compelling POV most of the time, because you're sticking with that character. And if you don't land that character voice, and the character and the readers hate them, you're not going to end up with a reader that's going to get very far. So, and are you doing first person present or first person past? I'm curious, because that's the other thing, is that people will write in first person present, and that's an extremely difficult one to do because you really have to focus on keeping the tense correct. And I have done first person before, but I've always used past tense. It's been easier. Oh, wow. Jump. Okay. 10 words and finished a round of playing video game with my brother. Nice. Chapters are usually around 3,000 to 5,000, sometimes 6. Okay. 6, I would try really hard not to go over 5. And this is just my general rule of thumb. Like as an editor, and as a fellow author, what I usually recommend is capping a chapter off at around 3,500 words. So you have more chapters, but that won't matter if the pacing is good, where people feel like they're making forward progress. I've had someone who had a 8 to 10,000 word chapter, and it just felt forever long, and it actually made it incredibly difficult for them to edit. So not even looking at it from a reader perspective, just as an editor, having edited something like that and helped an author through that, chapters that big can get really laborious to get through and try and edit, because you feel like you're not making any progress. And so mentally it just kind of beats the bejesus out of you. So hopefully that would maybe help, keeping it at really no more than 5, and then before you kind of break off into another chapter. And that tends to help mentally when you're going through and doing the chapters, in general, from experience. It doesn't work for everybody, obviously. This edit, I am catching where I flipped to 3rd. Yeah, that's always fun. I hate those little tense slips or those little POV shifts. That's why I'm probably not going to be ever able to write third person omniscient, because I write in someone's head too much. I don't just touch on all of the kind of the collective things. Like I want to dig into a character, and I want the reader to feel what the character feels. And then I want to then rip the soul from the reader and bludgeon it with angst, not Twilight level angst, but like, just like you feel it and you're just like, oh, that feels, it hurts. Like that kind of angst. Like I want that. Past. I like first person past tense. That one, it feels really good. It feels like, like you're two people sitting down and like I'm telling you like my story kind of thing. I like that. First person present tense, it's really hard, because it's like, imagine like you're sitting in front of somebody, like I'm talking to you right now. I'm talking to and I'm doing this and I'm sipping tea and I'm eating eggs and the eggs taste amazing. I'm like, I don't really care. That's why I have such a problem with first person present tense in general. It's because if it's not done well, it just sounds like you're giving a play by play of everything that you're doing, and it's just not good. Yeah, I tried. I literally opened up, I don't think I have it. I opened up the Hunger Games book, and I got about 3 sentences in, and I was like, nope, can't do it. Ironically, the person who had like the like 8,000 word long chapter, it was all present tense, but it was actually very well done. It wasn't. Do I have that one? Nowhere I can immediately see it, because I got her book too. It was also first person present tense, but it was actually pretty well done, and it was a much easier read, or close to 6. I think I had to fix it or something like that. Usually, farthest my novel has gone has been over 5, but not quite 6. There are still a lot of chapters, thankfully, too, though. Yeah. Right. That is what I'm going after. There it is. First person is tricky, for sure. Sometimes I mess up with my tenses. Might have to fix it when I go into editing. Usually they are short stories, so it isn't that bad, but it can it can get fun. I had one of my students, she's writing the high fantasy, which, guys, like seriously, if this book is never turned into a video game, I'm going to be extremely displeased, because this book is like Skyrim in its world building and lore, and like I'm absolutely in love with this book. And we talked about switching up an element of it into first person, and then she kind of went back and forth between present and past tense, and she writes third person past tense. So it was we had a call about it, and we kind of maneuvered through there, and then we actually switched it to first person present tense, because it's a short prologue, and it immediately made a huge difference. It just pulled you in. It just sucked you in, and it was awesome. Yeah, seriously, like this book, I want to be some of the part of like some of the guilds that she has in this book. It seriously, guys, like when it gets to the fundraising part of it and this book is available, I would suggest you just start saving up your money now for around July. So don't spend any money between now and July, because then you can buy, hopefully, my book, pre-order it. You can then pre-order her book, and then you can pre-order basically all of my other students' books, because they're all just awesome. They're just so good. I love it. Yeah. But this is like Skyrim level book status. And just in terms of like the breadth, just like it feels immense. It feels big. It feels alive and vibrant, and it's got its own mythology. I mean, it's just like so good. Yeah. Going for after the fast paced, can't cut it down. Turning to the next page. I don't like the first person present, because it's as if you are telling me you chewed the toast 30 times before swallowing. Yes, exactly. That is my one big issue for present tense. And the thing is that it really boils down to the author. There are authors who write really good first person present tense, and I don't want to discount that. As an editor, I've seen first person present tense done really, really badly. And so I don't typically recommend people doing first person present tense for their first time. First person past tense, third person limited, those tend to be a little bit easier, because there's less that you have to worry about. I mean, there's things that you have to worry about regardless. But those tend to be a little bit more forgiving. That's the right word, is that it tends to be a little bit more forgiving to newbie authors. Present tense is just, it's savage. It just doesn't usually end up well. Yeah. So I am, let's see, I'm going to look at my total word count here for this chapter, see where I'm at. I think I'm only at like 1,700 words. Nope, not even going to be there. Maybe 6, 7, 9. I'm almost at 1,000. Ooh, yeah. So almost at 1,000 words for chapter 20. And this is the irritating thing, right? Is that like I can whip out brand new content at a much faster pace, because I'm not having to try and fix and edit a lot of this stuff in to make sense, which is frustrating at times, because it's like, I could just rewrite the whole book, but there's stuff that I want to keep. So, it's the little things in life that make it worthwhile. I don't know. It's frustrating. Editing frustrates me sometimes. As much as I absolutely love developmental editing and coaching, that is one of those things where when it didn't help at all when I completely redid the geography. Like I probably would have been closer to being finished had I not actually rearranged the entire geography of the world. That probably would have helped. I didn't do that. Note to self. Don't do that. don't change the entire geography of the world on a whim. It did make my story better, but it's been incredibly painful ever since. All right. So we will gear up for another writing sprint or editing sprint, whatever you want to call it here. Let's see. All right. Trying to get it set up. Oh, I already restarted it. Look at me go. I am just rocking it today. Okay, we are going to do another 20-minute editing sprint here. And I'm going to see if I can try and catch up with Cynthia. I don't think that's going to be the case because she is just shredding the pages like crazy. Maybe the ding dong, eating the ding dong will help. I'll get a sugar buzz or something, and that'll help just me power through. All right, here we go. All right. Another sprint completed. We've been rocking it, guys. Like, seriously, we've done 4 of these now. 4, 5, something along that. Let's see. All right, so what did you guys get done? What did you guys get edited? I'm sure Cynthia's cranked out another 5,000 words during the 20 minutes we've been doing this. Let's see. I'm trying to rack up my count here. Let's see. All right, that's where I was. Yeah, 355. It's a scene I'm having to do a lot of heavy rewriting on. So it sucks a little bit because it slows it down so freaking much. But what were you guys able to get done in that time frame? And Alley Cat, I forgot if you're still on. What game were you playing? I'm super curious. Let's see. only 863 this time. Chapter is a mess. I feel that. I feel like that's this chapter that I'm working on because I had to change so much. Oh, this is the thing about second drafts that irritate the bejesus out of me is that sometimes that first draft you go through, it's like, oh yeah, this is so good, so good. I'm going to keep all of it. And then you change one minor detail and it just blows everything up. It's incredibly irritating. So for example, instead of the sassy assassin that I had, Branwen, she is now a sassy slaver. And so she like captures and sells her own kind. And it's with changing her to a slaver that brought different connotations with it. The interactions between her and the characters differ wildly because of where I had to bring it in. And so, that is just, it's required a lot of consistency, staying consistent with it, which is aggravating because it's little details that are really kind of the biggest challenge right now. Staying consistent with those little details. Oh yeah, I know that you guys feel me in that. Awesome. I'm glad that it's been helpful, Cynthia. I haven't done one of these in probably a couple of weeks or so. Part of it was I don't know if you guys caught it at the beginning of the month. I was a part of the AuthorTube virtual writing retreats, and so I blasted through 40 slides in under 50 minutes, detailing out how to get your story started easier and actually kind of my back is stiff. How to stay more consistent with it, how to figure out what that one story really is that you want to write. That was a blast. That was so much fun. And there was a ton of different authors that were involved in it. I think we're doing another one. Pretty sure it's in August somewhere. Yes. Yeah. Were you there for that, Cynthia? I'm trying to remember. It's a blur. I remember so little of what actually happened during that stream because it was incredibly intense going through that. So, but it was a lot of fun. Actually, I had a ton of signups for the writing class. that I kind of used as my basis for it. So I created the worksheets, the how to get the getting your story started worksheets, and those are a part of the how to start your fantasy story, fantasy novel writing course that I have for free going on right now. The link for that is also down in the description. But the writing worksheets themselves were something that I created beforehand, months and months, and well, it was sometime last year. Might have even been 2018 now that I think about it. I think it was 2018. So put all that together and then crammed 6 worksheets worth of information into 40 slides and crammed those slides into under 50 minutes. That was crazy. Wow, that is a lot of traveling. Oh my goodness. What do you do for work that makes you travel so much? That's insane. Where was I going with that? I had a question. It's gone now. That's what happens when you've been doing so much editing and writing. Because I did editing for some of my students earlier this morning, and then I was getting the giveaway set up, and then I was getting everything crammed in together for the stream and the picture and for the thumbnail, all that kind of stuff, and threw that together in about 30 minutes. Which that's why it's a pop-up. It's because it's literally just like, hey, you know what I can do? I'll do one of these. This past time I did research for the story. So you were traveling and were doing research for the story. Am I understanding that correctly? Because that's legit. I mean, even if it was just for work, I mean, that's still legit. Yeah, I don't do a whole lot of traveling now. I've been to Egypt. That's the furthest away that I've been. That was back in 2007. Wow, 300 days out of the year traveling for research for the book. That's cool. I'm not that dedicated. Well, granted, I can't actually travel to the fantasy world that I've created. If I could, I probably would and do more in-depth research, but I can't do that, unfortunately. That would be awesome, though. Retired. Okay, well, that works. Or not works, helps. Yeah, the farthest away that I've been is Egypt, and that was a lot of fun. Used a lot of inspiration from that to do some of the world building for some of my other stories. Been to London, which was beautiful, absolutely gorgeous. I loved London. It wasn't raining while we were there. It was actually really nice. So that was different than I know, because one of our fellow author tubers, What Now, lives over in England, and it's basically just rainy and foggy and cold and dark all the time. So we hit that very narrow window. Okay. So we have about 20 minutes or so before I have to be done. So that way I can get ready for dinner, because I'm probably going to be doing more edits later tonight. Probably not doing a live stream on those, though. As a reminder, if you haven't already, make sure you go down and like and subscribe. Subscription buttons over here, and hit the bell notification icon, so that way you know when I go live and when I upload videos, which I haven't done that lately. It's been more along the lines of live streams. But if you want to know when I go live and doing more of the editing sprints, which I do hope to do more of, and stay up to date on the book that I'm writing. Make sure you go and subscribe to my newsletter. That is also down in the links, and I give you a free writing template. So you get stuff for free, and I send it out monthly ish on the newsletter. Heavy on the ish. And I try and just kind of fill people in for like what the whole month is going to be. And I try and provide, like some writing or editing tips and stuff in there on occasion. I landed at Imperial Dam in southern Arizona, and that was like being in a different world. Arizona is kind of like being in a different world. It's kind of like being on the surface of the sun. My sister and brother-in-law live down there. I haven't been down there. I've only been to the Phoenix airport. But it was like 1,000 degrees and with like 200% humidity. And that was the last time that I have been in Arizona. It was not like the most fun experience that I'd ever had. Granted, it was just in the airport. Okay, we're going to do one shorter writing sprint. I'm going to clear. It's not doing it. Fine. Let's see. The terrain was rocky instead of sand. Ooh, interesting. So probably looked more like Mars. All right, so we'll do a 10-minute sprint. This will be the last sprint of the day. And then I'm going to start wrapping up and doing my stuff and getting ready for dinner. Got to feed the beast. Okay. All right. Let me make sure I've pulled this back up here. There we go. All right. 10-minute timer. Ready, set, go. All right. That concludes the last of the writing sprints. What did you guys get done? I got technically, let's see. So 225. Having to rework a lot of this freaking dialogue. Ugh. It's killing me slowly. All right. 400. I read that as 404 swords, but it is 404 words. And halfway through the manuscript and its final edit, thank you for offering this. It was needed and it is appreciated. You are so welcome, Cynthia. I'm so glad that you were able to join and be able to get out a lot of that editing kind of out of the way. And that's why I like doing this. Like, when I first started streaming, one of the things was like, oh, we're gonna do writing sprints. I'm like, I'm an editor. Like, I know I'm working on my book too, and this kind of works as a little bit of both, as a writing sprint, as an editing sprint. This also works as a writing sprint. I mean, you're still writing, you're still revising, you're still doing all that kind of stuff, but the editing thing it just fit, and it's fun, and we get to talk shop about editing and different editing techniques sometimes. I know that I've done some more editing tip style things in the past during these types of streams. But I just had so much fun, with the giveaway, all that to get that ready for you guys, and just as my way of saying thank you, doing that. I'll probably have another video. I'm actually going to be with Savvy on tomorrow at noon my time. Noon my time. They're in Central, so 2 their time, if I remember correctly. But we're going to be doing because Savvy's books just got published, and so she's kind of doing a big. She can't do. She was going to do BookCon, but BookCon's canceled because the world has been canceled, and so it's kind of like a virtual author book signing. So we're just going to do it. I'm happy to be a part of it. So if you guys don't know Savvy, look up Savvy's channel and go, 1, subscribe, 2, set your reminder for the live stream tomorrow. And it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm going to be talking more about a giveaway. We're going to have a raffle thing going on, and you'll have entries for. It's a separate giveaway from the one that I'm doing. Mine is specifically for you guys and my channel, and then I'm doing a separate one for that event, as just a way to give back to the AuthorTube community that has been so gracious to welcome me into it. And so I want to thank you all for doing that. I'm glad that you found me too, Cynthia. It has been so much fun talking with you and getting to know more about your book and what you're doing with it. And then a couple of those this year with the virtual book signings. Cool. I mean, everything's kind of gone virtual. I was listening to music on YouTube, and they were talking to me about virtual dating, like virtual first dates. And I was just like, I'm just done, and I'm ready for it to be over. And I know it's never going to be like over, but like for real, like I'm done. It's craziness. So guys, thank you so much for joining me for these 3.5 hours. Yeah, virtual dating is just insane. So guys, thank you so much for joining. My daughter is screaming bloody murder, and I don't know why, so I'm gonna have to go investigate. Guys, thank you so much. All the links for everything are down in the description below. Make sure you check it out if you haven't already signed up. And I will talk to you guys next time. Take care.